Hello, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Is this number 3 or 4? It's the official number 2 because you guys missed the
Official number 2, but I
Yeah,
think
I
we've
think
done
it's the
2.
third time we've done it. At
I
least
believe
maybe
so.
the last 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. So,
Miles,
well,
we did one on our own. I think maybe 2.
yeah. I don't know why the camera quality's hit. Like, this is a good vibe. We got. Oh, because we don't normally
It's
have.
because it's 3. Yeah, I was like, it's because
3
it's
is the
legal.
perfect number.
Yeah. For some reason it looks like we're venture capitalists, like on. Like,
We're on like a panel or something.
Miles is getting tan.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm taking
noticed
it
that.
seriously now. Yeah. I've been regimenting, but I've been this one. No, actually no.
I believe it. No, I know.
Yeah, like I've been sun maxing heavy, training heavy because I'm working out now. I wake up no alarm, hitting
Nice.
hinge heavy, sourcing heavy, content heavy,
Doing
like
all the things heavy that you should be doing.
yeah, life is good, man. Life is good, and cool. Okay, guys. So we only
Brett
got
McGinnis already with it says FBA Shark Tank.
yeah. Oh, dude,
he had
Brett,
some zingers last week.
yeah, dude. This dude. Were you here last weekend? Yeah, this dude's a beast. Brett's the man. Sun maxing his W. Damn, Pickle Rick redeeming himself, man. Very strong take from Pickle Rick right there. What up, Tony? What up, Sadiq, Bobby? Good to see you guys. Guys, I got the old school Windows 7 Notepad app ready to go. Yes, sir. Cool. Good to see you and Mark as well. You had good questions last time. Is there an external scanner that is faster than the app on my phone? Yes, absolutely. The EOYO. This takes us back to the good old days.
I was
right
just
there.
thinking that this is one of the first purchases I ever made for my Amazon business.
Yeah,
I think
it
I
was
used
my
like a
first.
KDC, like
Oh,
a KDC
you're a
something.
good guy. Yeah.
That was the one Reezy was always recommending. And it's funny because I remember when I bought it, it was probably like 80 or 90 bucks. And then I think book selling got to be pretty popular, or at least a lot more people were looking into it. And the price of the scanners actually went up a lot. Like people were making money just flipping the scanners.
Really?
They got up to be like 200 bucks. Yeah. That one that I bought.
I remember
Like
talking about that. Yeah.
if you're doing all right though, you really don't need a scanner. You're not going to go as, that fast where you need something like that. If it's for RA purposes, I would super not worry about the scanner.
And you need to see data though too.
Exactly. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot bigger purchase right there. Yeah. Oh, let's go. That's fire. Grip and rip right there.
That's it.
I mean, safe. Yeah, guys, show some love for Garrett in the chat. I need like a stream of W's. Garrett completed an Ironman 2 days ago, which is awesome. So what did it start at? Like it starts at like 6 a.m, right?
Yeah, so the morning was a little weird because I think the hurricane was off to sea, so the waves were crazy. So they pushed the start back. Like an hour and a half, and then they ultimately cut the swim in half due to like safety issues. It was like supposed to be like a small craft advisory, which the kayaks weren't supposed to be in the water, which obviously they can't have us in the water if they can't have the kayaks in the water because that like kind of audits the whole thing. Everything else after the swim, everything else was normal. 112 on the bike, 26.2 on the run.
Yeah. So guys, that's 112 miles in one day on the bike. 100 or then full marathon.
139 total movement, I think.
Thanks to
That's
yourself.
insane.
Yeah. By the way, Garrett, we have to hit the ground running strong with the pods tomorrow to hit the 150.
Yeah,
we need to go one a day.
We all almost at one. What number are y'all on?
Let me check.
Somebody earlier said Corey looks like the Alibaba Mark Zuckerberg. That's pretty low, man.
That's good banter, though.
I get that once a week.
Okay, so all right, we have 13 days. Okay, so we're on 138.37. So we need to do one a day, and then we'll do an episode and a stream on the first day. Okay, cool. All right, so we gotta get to it. We'll do internal tomorrow. We'll get Danny will be available. Right there. Two
categories to ungate going into Q4. Waiting on my Nike ungate now. So in terms of categories, you don't need a clothing ungate, right? I don't even remember.
No. So beauty category you'll need, toy category you'll need.
Yeah, grocery. Those are probably the three big ones.
You'll need. Yeah, for the most part, it's just going to be other brands. If you're already doing Nike, you might as well go ahead and do it. Adidas, Puma. Under Armour. Yeah. Although if you're low on capital, it makes the most sense to just source stuff and get ungated using that stuff. It's really up to you guys. Okay, what causes Amazon to remove the buy box, and how much does it affect the volume of the product?
So the buy box, I guess I got to answer it here, then you can follow up on it. So the buy box will get suppressed. There's a number of reasons why it will get suppressed, but it's typically due to that same product being offered at a lower price on some other website. So Amazon has bots that are basically crawling the internet. If somebody can buy that product for $40 on Walmart.com and it's on Amazon.com for $50, Amazon's going to suppress the buy box. And as far as how does that affect demand, it absolutely kills it. So it'll kill sales by up to 90% in some cases. It's really, really bad for the listing.
Yeah, the nice thing is you're going to see on a Keepa chart if it's an issue, though. And in many cases, a lot of people actually avoid products with no buy box. So it won't actually change the market too much. It just is typically going to have the rank go higher. But that doesn't mean you should avoid that stuff, because the same way, if a product has a buy box, you're going to audit that product the same way and look at the Keepa chart, competition, price trend, etc.
Yeah, the one thing to be mindful of is if it just got shut off, right? Because all the data you're looking at is going to be skewed, right? And so if you're looking at a product where the buy box just had been suppressed, SellerAmp is going to estimate your sales. It's going to give you all the information as if it was still on, right? So you have to account for that diminishing return of sales. However, if it has been suppressed for a couple months, then there's really no change in the argument, right? Because SellerAmp has updated all that data. The buy box, the 9-day average, all those things are going to be adapted to the decreased velocity. And so then it's just as if you're making any other decision. What's the velocity? How much competition? Probably, like Miles said, it's probably going to be a little bit lower, which is to the advantage of you finding that product, right? No sales rank products operate the same way. It's all about finding products, finding opportunities where people are overlooking. Newer sellers, novice sellers, not experienced sellers are probably going to overlook products that look different, right? Products that don't have a sales rank, products that don't have a buy box. And for the experienced, confident seller, if you could seek out those opportunities, there's a lot of money to be made on the back end of those, because it just naturally creates more of a moat around those products.
Totally. So Chris Potter had a really good question here that I want to take a second to answer. So he said, going into Q4, how are you preparing for cash flow considerations? So I'll talk briefly about how we're preparing for Q4 this year versus last year. So going into Q4 last year, we pretty much took a look at all of our products that were seasonal, like basically looking at all the ones that spiked during Q4 that we knew we were going to sell a lot of during Q4. And we went to our vendors in September and basically placed one big Q4 order to ship on October 1st or slightly before it, right? So the idea is we wanted to buy enough inventory to last all of Q4 in one purchase order. So because of that, we overshot on certain products. Like we bought too much of certain products. We undershot on other products. And we paid a lot more in storage fees because all of our Q4 inventory was at Amazon all of Q4. And during Q4, storage fees go up by, it's what, like 3.6x or 4x. So it's like we were paying multiple thousands of dollars per month. Yeah, I think it's almost up to 4x in some cases. So we were paying thousands of dollars per month in storage fees. So what we're doing differently this year is we've got one big order going out, I guess, to be shipped the first week of October, and in order to get us to November 1st, right? So we want to order enough inventory to get us to November 1st with a second larger order set to ship that first week in November, getting to Amazon in time for that critical week of December 14th through 21st, with enough inventory to carry us through the rest of the year. So that way, instead of one big order at the beginning of Q4, it's two big orders, but they're spread out by about a month. So that way it's going to be easier to recycle cash and pay less in storage fees this year.
Yeah, and I want to preface that by saying Corey's doing wholesale too. Most of you guys watching this are doing arbitrage, where you should not be even considering buying anything that's not profitable today. You shouldn't be speculating on anything. The big advantage with arbitrage is you guys can buy stuff December 1st. You can go to your local outlet December 5th, buy something listed FBM that night.
FBM and sell the shit out of it.
Yeah, so you guys legitimately should, like, really, it should be incredibly hard to have cash flow issues, basically, because you should be playing ball incredibly low risk, only buying stuff that's profitable today, especially once December rolls around, when you're spending heavy Black Friday, December, etc. All of that should be merchant fulfilled. So, like, it should be quite literally impossible to have those sorts of issues. They're very close to impossible.
And Amazon is going to be completely bogged down in shipping out orders to customers over December. So the closer we get to Christmas, I guarantee you, the more they're going to prioritize FBM offers in the buy box. So if you're FBMing products in the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks leading up to Christmas, I guarantee your sales will increase. And Yeah, I mean, I just think that's going to be a viable way to get your cash back a lot quicker.
Oh, it's a disgustingly wealth generating, life changing, decades of your life saving way to do. Like, and God, you guys
I
watch.
know.
We're going to be doing 23 days of streams leading up to Q4. I'm not letting anyone fucking fail.
That's awesome.
Every time we're going to have me with the fucking Santa drip on, with the sleigh on it. It's going to say day 24 in the thumbnail. Day 20.
I can see just some Facebook ads coming out. Like that should be some creative for some ads. Like you in a Santa suit riding into Q4.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Question for Garrett. Have you ever encountered an error when shipping to FBA by trying to purchase the partnered carrier labels? I'm not shipping hazmat, just books. Occasionally.
I mean, stuff like that's always going to happen.
That sounds like it's probably like an internal error.
Refresh, go to a different browser. Yeah.
If you do wholesale, do they have to be from a authorized distributor? I mean, I think that's one of the big myths is that there's no like database in Amazon's reference guide that says, okay, these are the distribution companies that we allow. These are the brands that we allow. If it looks like, if it's an invoice, that's a legitimate invoice, has all your information, it's going to hold true to any authenticity that comes up, any real issue like that. Same thing with unloading, right? It's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be from a specific place. It's just has to match whatever's on your account.
I think what that person might be asking though, just to cover this angle too, they might be asking, does the distributor need to be authorized by the manufacturer, right? As opposed to being authorized in the eyes of Amazon. You see what I mean there? So if you're asking if the distributor needs to be authorized by the manufacturer, as in one of their legitimate authorized distributors, that definitely helps. I mean, that's going to give you the strongest case for getting an invoice pushed through if you run into an issue. But there's plenty of wholesalers and just liquidation companies. I mean, not that I would recommend buying from them as a newer seller because they are a bit more risky, but there's perfectly legitimate suppliers that you can buy brand name products from that aren't technically an authorized distributor of the manufacturer. I hope that distinction makes sense. I don't want to confuse anybody there.
Yeah, and the nice thing is any retail store that would have name brand products is, right? The whole authorized distributor BS, that was from back in the day when people used to gatekeep info left and right. I was believing that stuff too, like completely, that there was some like magical thing. And then like East Bay really put the whole hood on back in the day. Like,
yeah.
And they were just like, fuck it, let them all work. Like, favorite daily stream, appreciate it. So honestly, guys, if you're getting denied for an ungate, you can feel free to open up a new case or just reply to the existing one. It's completely up to you. Yeah. Oh.
So this guy asked, what listing software are you guys using?
Our Prep Center actually has a custom solution that they use. Yeah.
Shit. Cool. Okay.
You said your Prep Center?
Mm-hmm.
That's
nice.
It's Dylan Carter. He built something out.
Is it in Airtable? Is that how they use it in Airtable?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, like you can't list in Airtable.
Well, no, I know. I wasn't sure if that's kind of how they built shipments, or at least like provided you your inventory.
Oh, that would be fire. Yeah, that would make it.
I'm pretty sure. I think he said maybe that's how they were at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it integrates with Seller Central. It talks right to them. It brings in all the information from Seller Central. I mean, it's pretty cool what they did.
Sweet.
And so as far as listing software too, so this is kind of a tip that, I mean, people I think kind of discover as they get more advanced. So have you guys ever, I'm asking Garrett and Miles this, have you guys ever done something where you've like essentially downloaded a CSV file and then uploaded that to Amazon to basically upload your shipment as like a flat file?
Twice? I haven't, no.
Oh, I thought you were saying you've done that twice.
Yeah. I've done it with, I think that's how I put my listings in BQL, my buy costs in BQL back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Do that once though. The bulk of it.
Yeah. So bulk uploads can be a really easy way to create big shipments. So what we're trying to build out right now, and it's super easy, but basically just a Google Sheet template that we could export it, and it's going to be in the exact same format that we can upload it straight into Amazon to create the shipment plan right there. So that way we'll just have to enter like ASIN, quantity, SKU, all pre-populated in the spreadsheet. Export as a CSV, upload straight into Amazon Seller Central, and then our shipment's already right there. And so that's kind of at least like the next evolution in our business, because that's going to save us maybe 30, 45 minutes up to an hour per shipment on some of these bigger shipments.
Oh, your father is a wholesaler. If I can sell the products, he gets. Yeah, I mean, if he provides any sort of good documentation, he's getting the products a legit way, you'll be good to go, man. That's a big one up right there. That's a great opportunity to keep money in your family and scale to the moon.
So this is a good question. Do any of you guys have experience making a listing with multiple products like 2-pack, 3-pack, etc.? So I wouldn't necessarily recommend, especially if you're getting started making your own listing, because there's a lot of extra inputs that go into that. However, you're potentially onto something. What I would do is rewire that question. Is if you start to look for products that are bundles, two, three, four, five packs, you potentially can uncover a gold mine of products. Right? A lot of people are simply looking for the ones and twos, or mainly just the single unit ASINs, because that's what matches the UPCs and all those sorts of things. But you can use Keep a Product Finder, build into your criteria. You're only looking for maybe 2 packs or 3 packs or whatever the bundle situation is. That potentially, and then using SellerAmp to map it back to single units, that could potentially be an area where you're looking in an area where not a lot of sellers are.
Okay, this is a good one. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't put your storefront name as your name. And you guys can name your storefront like whatever the heck you want. Like you can change it all the time. Like you should be changing it, quarterly and such. Luckily, Patrick, I mean, probably no one honestly is really going to care to do anything to you unless you end up meeting a lot of Amazon people and making enemies, which is like incredibly hard to do, honestly. You really got to be doing some wild stuff right there.
So Derek asked, do you know if storage fees are delayed? I'm getting hit with fees on closed out of stock products. So yeah, Derek, they're delayed by about a month, I believe. So that's why you'll pay your bigger storage fees will hit in November, December, January, because it just trails a month I guess a month behind Q4.
Interesting. I didn't even know that.
You guys shed some light over sourcing of Lego products. So if that's a brand, and this applies to any brand, any category that you're interested in, not just Lego, what I would do is use Keep a Product Finder, input the brand of question, input the brand you're looking for into the brand filter. From there, that will bring back all products inside Amazon's catalog that meet that brand criteria. Then you can kind of take that and go a couple different ways, whether you want to add a sales rank threshold, whether you want to add a buy box threshold, anything you want to add, increasing price, increasing velocity, decreasing sales rank, minimum or no competition, right? You can use a lot of different filters from that baseline of a specific brand, and that could be a good entry point to finding products, right? I talk to a lot of people in terms of using this strategy when there's like a site-wide sale, right? So like Adidas.com, UnderArmour.com, right? If Adidas is doing a 30% off sale across the site, well, it makes a lot of sense to pinpoint Adidas products, filter those products based on some good criteria, with the understanding that any good-looking Under Armour Adidas product, you can map back to their specific site, and that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, that's some incredible sauce. So what that means, guys, is this works especially well for beauty products. If you find any of these small beauty brands, I'll give you guys one of them, Glossier, for example. Go to a Glossier listing, storefront stock off that listing, go and find one of the Glossier listings with 40 other sellers. Go in SellerAmp, open up all the sellers, look at all the other brands they have, write down all those brands, and then go to each of those websites, put in your email, create an account, and now they're going to text and email you when they have a deal going on. These brands are smaller. The inventory is most likely only coming in many cases from the brand website or a couple retailers. So now you know where the inventory is coming from. You know when the deal is going on, right? Which luckily, coming up Black Friday, Halloween, there's going to be a ton of these stuff, right? And then what you can do is plug in on Keep a Product Finder and find all the best listings in that brand and then filter them to what has the best velocity, what has the lowest competition, what is the price increase, etc. Here, we're putting you guys on the sauce tonight. We get CoreyGanim up. We get him once a week up here, and the sauce just starts spilling out left and right.
Starts flowing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dave had a good question. So he said, Dave Kim asked, have you ever been Section 3'd or have you had your withdrawals held before? I've heard some scary stories of Amazon sellers doing serious volume and getting their accounts suspended, etc. So Dave, to answer your question, I personally have not gotten suspended before, knock on wood, because that would be very bad. As far as that happening, so yes, that happens. Usually it's due to it's never for no reason, right? If you hear even a big seller, if they get suspended, every single time it's for a specific reason. Either they let their shipping metrics get out of hand, they weren't responding to customer feedback, they were carrying they had too many account health violations. There's always some reason. So as long as you're as long as you have a good handle on your account health, as long as you're addressing issues proactively, and as long as your account your account health score is healthy, right? The bigger seller you are, the more leeway you have. If you're a brand new seller, one violation can get you shut down for good. If you're a huge seller, like not that we're a huge seller, but our account health page has some dings on it right now, and our rating is still 1,000 out of 1,000. So basically, the short answer is get to be a big seller and keep a good handle on your account health.
Mm-hmm. And to go back to what we were talking about before, right? There's so much power in knowing where something was acquired, right? And we use the strategy a bunch, right? To find adjacencies given a specific brand, right? Members Mark, obviously we all know that Members Mark is bought from Sam's Club, right? Kirkland from Costco. If you start there, the assumption being that people that are sourcing and buying Members Mark, Kirkland products are likely doing other sourcing inside that store, right? If someone has 20 Members Mark products in their storefront, how much you want to bet that they probably have other products that are purchased from Sam's Club, right? So using a brand as an entry point gives you a lot of helpful information, even if it's not with those Members Mark products. Even if none of those are profitable, there could be other stuff that's purchased from a Costco, a Sam's Club, a BJ's, those sorts of stores that might be profitable, right? So it's always in the adjacencies from where you're starting. You use Keep a Product Finder as a goggle, as a lens, as a starting point to fuel other searches that give you other knowledge that could potentially uncover other brands that are profitable, categories, sites if you're doing OA, sellers, that sort of thing.
And that's such a good tip. And we give the exact same advice when it comes to wholesale. I think that's a particular concept that transfers very well from OA to wholesale, because in a wholesale business, we made the mistake so many times of we find a good profitable product from a supplier, and then we go and look for another profitable product from a completely different brand, right? When in reality, all we got to do is dig a little deeper and look at what other products does that supplier carry from that brand. Because if you can find one profitable product for a brand that a supplier carries, chances are high that the supplier is going to carry other products from that brand that are also profitable. So it's like when you find a lead, you want to go deeper into that lead, deeper into that brand, exactly like Garrett said, both on the OA side and on the wholesale side.
And for the more advanced sellers in here, something you can do with that is you could download someone's store as an Excel file and just simply run a VLOOKUP and compare their ASINs to a catalog that you have. But if you have a massive wholesaler brand catalog, all it is it takes a VLOOKUP from someone's store.
That's so true.
Matches the UPC or ASIN to the storefront to catalog, and then you're going to probably get dings if they're buying and sourcing other things, right? So download the storefront's catalog, right? Enter their ID in to Keep a Product Finder. Download the storefront in the Excel file, and then just run a VLOOKUP and find what other products they're using and buying from a specific catalog.
You could do the VLOOKUP on the model number, for example. So because a lot of times the UPC match won't be a match, but the model number will. And you could quickly identify, all right, which products does this seller have that my supplier also has, where it's a model number match, meaning it's very likely to be the same product. And then it's a very simple price comparison, right? And also if you find a product if you find the right product, but maybe the supplier doesn't have it at the right price, well, there you've got the data in front of you to know how many that product is probably selling per month. So you can go back to the supplier and say, hey, we want to order a specific amount. We want to order 200 of these. What sort of price can you offer us at that point, right? And then at that point, it's like a 50-50 chance as to whether it's going to be a profitable product.
The computer science majors are coming out today.
Okay. I got a D- in computer science 1.
Really?
I begged my teacher to. I actually failed. I begged my teacher to pass me. It was the first class I ever took freshman year. It was really hard. I was really bad.
You graduated, right, Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Corey's a corporate body.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mr. Tucked in button up shirt.
I knew I was gonna get shit on for that.
Yeah,
that's literally the first thing. I walk into the room and I get a text from Miles. He's like, "What are you wearing?"
Yeah,
I'm like, bro.
Bro, you should have pulled up wearing a Brand Rocket t-shirt.
Yeah, we go hard.
I don't have one. I know I need to get one. I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I should be wearing it to every trade show.
Yeah, for real. Oh, dude. Oh, well, the polos. I mean, you don't know anything about the
polos. I've seen it. It's
yeah, he was at Miami.
Fire. Yeah. That's like I want the same thing, but with my company.
Yeah, do that, bro, for sure. Do you know a good app to use and scan digital receipts? That's a good question, man. I assume there's dedicated apps for that. I know the QuickBooks has one though, and a LinkedIn.
Oh, there's what is it? HubDoc, I think is one.
Yeah.
Oh, and Reezy shared this tip. This might be outdated. This was years ago. He used to have some sort of method where he would use Zapier to where it's like if he takes a picture of a receipt or he uses if then that to automatically put that receipt or the picture of that receipt into a Google Drive folder for receipts.
Wow. Is it normal for listings to tank before Q4 as people are stocking up? I've noticed a lot of what's ironic, Jacob, is I've noticed the complete opposite. Like there's listings going to the moon that have no business going to the moon. Like guys, your competition is not fucking trying. Like they're not trying. Like you squeeze the wealth. Like they're not trying. What's up? But yeah, that could definitely be a thing. Now, should people watching this be stocking up on products for Q4? Absolutely not, because I'm just going to come in and buy the same inventory for cheaper during Black Friday right there. And I want you guys to do the same.
Another trend you might notice with Q4 products, so especially ones that spike during the holidays, people start to jump on the listing like mid-November, price will tank going into December, and then like December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, it starts to go back. So what we've done in previous years, especially if it's a product that has a history of doing exactly that, we'll go into our repricer and set our minimum to be pretty high. So that way, basically, we're pricing ourselves out of the market, letting everybody under us sell through. And then once the price catches back up to our minimum, or we just lower the minimum a little bit, we start to fly through everything at a much more profitable price from December like 10th through the 21st.
And honestly, if this is your first Q4, the biggest component, the biggest value piece of merchant fulfilling is just like the more efficient feedback loop, right? You buy something, you're not sure if it's going to work out well. You buy 5, you buy 10. Well, now with your FBM, you sell them in a couple of days. Well, now you have the assurance. Now you don't have to rely on data that you're not confident in to buy exactly how many you need to buy, right? Whereas the alternative is you're sending them in the FBA. Now you wait 3-4 weeks. Now they sell well. Well, now you go back to the source and now there's no more left, right? That's going to happen a bunch with this Q4, with the increased volume, with the shorter supply on a lot of these retail sites, if you're not fast and quick with everything that goes into the process.
That's actually really not a bad idea. We'll definitely stream, even if it's just me solo on Black Friday. I might even source and stream, but that whole week I'll be posting.
Dude, that would crush. Yeah. That would do really well.
Everyone will be around. Yeah, and
everybody should be around.
Yeah, definitely. That stuff's gonna be.
Yeah, because everyone's off that day, isn't there? Aren't they?
Usually.
Yeah, I mean, except people who work at retail stores, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Mohammed had a good question here, and this is a pretty typical question, so I'm going to answer it. So he said, hey, Corey, I was sourcing a product from a distributor. After buying a pallet of the item, sellers on the listing basically dropped the price. It's no longer profitable. Should we continue with that listing or leave? So what I like to do is I like to wait. I'll give it maybe, depending on how much stock those sellers have in stock, I'll give it maybe a week or two. And if there's no movement on the listing, if the price is continuing to tank or they still have a lot of inventory, typically we'll just either match them or try to aggressively sell through the inventory, even at a small loss if we need to get our money back and deploy into different products. You're much better off taking a small loss and redeploying that money than you are sitting on it for a long time.
Okay, here's how to find unlimited Q4 leads. Everyone listen up. Please do this. Please do this. It'll be so good for you guys. So, all right, as you're doing product research the next couple months right here, and you're going to hit the year-long data on Keep Up, you're going to see a lot of products that went to the moon last year, right? You need to have a Seller Amp Google Sheets set up right here so that you can boom, export this right over, right? So when you see a listing, all you got to do one click and then you got that catalog forever, right? We can go over here, Q4 leads example. Then I have that spreadsheet that product was automatically added to, right? Also, what you want to do on items like this is go to here, data, buy box stats, and then hit the 365-day data. Filter to who's the most expensive, and then storefront stock these people once November and December rolls around, because these are the people with the biggest brains that were able to sell this product at the highest prices that smashed last year's Q4 and probably will again this year. So set up that.
Just a good tip. I would have never in a million years thought to do that.
That's actually a G-Body Benz original.
That's literally like, I don't know how you thought of that shit.
Yeah, the same thing happened. Yeah. The same thing works with seasonal stuff, right? If you find a Halloween product, right, go to the 365 buy box rotation, see the sorts of sellers that were buying and selling the Halloween product from last Halloween. Chances are they may be doing the same thing this year. Chances are they're probably sourcing other Halloween stuff this year. Chances are they might even be sourcing some Christmas stuff, some Thanksgiving stuff, some Easter stuff, right? Smart sellers do smart things year round. It's not just seasonal, right? So If you find smart sellers, and these are the sorts of ways to do so, you will have success. Right. So if you go to a Halloween product, you can use the Product Finder to find any sort of Halloween product, go to last year's data. And I think Miles is going to try and do it now. You know, all the sellers that were selling it last year. And that right there is so valuable in knowing what they were doing last year.
Am I lagging right here?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. If we go to this guy, yeah, look at that last year. Look at how the rank came down last year. Right
Yeah,
there.
and you can go if you can go to the buy box statistics. You
Yep.
can see every seller that joined the market last year, and now you have a reference sheet for this year.
Yeah, this isn't a great example, but he's absolutely right. Let's see if we can find like a super populated one.
And then in a wholesale context too, so having that list miles that you're generating from SellerAmp, that Q4 examples list.
Yeah.
If you're doing wholesale, that's basically your sourcing list for Q4, right? All you've got to do is you've got to sort those products by category. So let's say, for example, in that Q4 list, you've got 20 grocery products, you've got 10 tool products, and 10 toys. Well, then you're just going to send that list to all of your suppliers in those categories and say, hey, I'm trying to buy these products, this quantity. What's the best quote you can give me, right? So that way you're having 2 to 3 suppliers per category compete for your business, offering you the best price. You're almost guaranteed to be able to buy a lot of really profitable inventory that way, especially if you're building up your list all year.
Look at these bozos right here that sold really low and then the price shot up right there.
Every time, like clockwork. Our best listings every year are break even in the first week of December, and then they shoot to like 200% ROI. It literally is like clockwork because some people just panicked, I think, or they bought too many.
Yeah, guys. So what we would do in this context, right? So go here, data, buy box stats, 365 days. And then we go here, average price. And then so like this guy has a gigantic brain right here. Like look at him in stock this year.
Is he the brand? I've seen him before. Is this a Needzo branded listing? Because he creates his own branded bundles and he will IP people off of his own listings. I've seen it before.
Let's show.
Oh, I mean, we're just showing the example though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's not necessarily this product.
Okay, so this is what a Deca Millionaire looks like, ladies and gents, unless he's FBM and drop shipping, which I don't think so.
He's not. I don't think. Oh, he might be actually.
Yeah, he's FBM. Yeah, cool. So that's not a great example, but you guys get the idea. Right there. Cool. Guys, keep the questions coming. We got great momentum. We got kick-ass Q&A from you guys, so please keep them coming right there.
So Mark said Meltable's too close to Halloween, so it messes the data up, I think. So not really, Mark. If you're looking at just like the estimated number of sales as of right now, September 18th, yes, it will be skewed. You want to look at the Keepa during the month of October last year. If you're looking at Meltables for Halloween specifically, that will tell you. Obviously, history is not going to repeat itself perfectly, but you're going to have an idea for how many sellers can I expect to compete with on this listing? What are the general price points I can expect to sell this product at? And how much does the rank spike during that time?
And kind of finishing the conversation with the seasonal stuff, right? If you're using a Keepa Product Finder to search for products proactively, right? It doesn't do us a whole lot of good to look for Halloween products based on a sales rank, but we still want to audit based on velocity. So, right. So what's a back way approach to filter products based on velocity with obviously not the capability to use sales rank? It's going to be with reviews, right? Because listings accumulate reviews year after year, but they don't disappear. And so a Halloween product that's been successful for the past 5 years is going to have a lot of reviews. Sales rank doesn't mean anything, and we can't use it anyways, right? Because if we use Keepa, sales rank's not going to be good. Sales rank's not going to be what it will be in another month. And so to filter Halloween products based on velocity with not the capability to use sales rank, it's going to be using reviews or ratings because those accumulate year after year after year and they don't go anywhere. So that's really going to be your big indicator to start to search proactively now for all your seasonal products.
That's smart. So hold on. There's a question here. I want to address it. I hope this guy's trolling. I don't know if he is. Nick asked, wait, where did it go? Nick Smith said, how do I get an invoice for Nike items I bought on DHgate? So Nick, never, ever, ever buy any brand name products from DHgate, Alibaba, AliExpress, any of those websites. It's going to be a counterfeit 100% of the time. So please don't send those Nike products you bought from DHgate into Amazon. Don't sell them on Amazon because they're fake.
And you're committing a federal crime, I think, too.
I've never actually heard of DHgate, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just an AliExpress, basically.
Yeah. Can you explain the risks of generic products? So yeah, it means the listing was basically not created by the brand. So there's like, technically, I assume like stuff that's against the law about listing. So just avoid that if you see that request on SellerAmp. Am I wrong on that? I know it's something like that.
No, you're right. So if you see a listing that has the brand name as generic, it was basically created by it was just a random listing that was created without the brand's approval. And Amazon supposedly is starting to crack down on sellers that have that have products listed under generic listings.
Bro is trolling. Yeah. Yeah, you can still get the buy box FBM. It just depends on the listing. Like you're going to be able to see if you go to the buy box stats on Keepa, if you'll be able to.
Okay, good product here. Marquito said, how do you guys get ready for Meltable season? Any strategies? So I wrote a thread on this the other day with my top 3 tips for getting ready to sell meltables. The first one would be just make sure that if you're going to sell meltables, you want to try to get in as early as possible. So October 15th is the first day that Amazon is accepting meltables at FBA. I think that means you can't technically create a meltable shipment until October 15th. So make sure you have all of your meltable inventory on hand, ready to ship. Get them in shipments October 15th, get them out the door October 16th, get them to FBA as quickly as possible, because that 1 or 2 week head start that you're going to get on other sellers, you're going to make a lot of money really quickly. Second thing would be get them out of FBA before April 30th, which is the last day that they can be there. And keep in mind that pricing on meltables is going to tank after Christmas, but they're going to spike again during Valentine's Day. They're going to tank, and they're going to spike again during Easter. So you have really 2 big events to get rid of them after the holidays, being Valentine's Day and Easter.
A consumer hack: if you're super into candy, what's the best day of the year to buy candy?
Day after Valentine's Day, right?
No, the day before meltables is over on Amazon.
Yeah, that's true.
Because all the big wholesalers are going to liquidate their stock. And so
Yep.
if you're a consumer looking to buy candy, that's where you're going to go.
I remember I was down bad in January of 2021 because I had just finished college and I was like trying to make the Wi-Fi money, and I was drop shipping teddy bears on Shopify, and I actually made a couple of sales for Valentine's Day, and then God summoned me to my true calling, and like the next week I started Chad scaling online arbitrage.
That's awesome.
How to use coupons. Miles said something about a catch-all. Yeah, so that's in regards to email sign-up or account sign-up coupons for online arbitrage. You could set up what's called a catch-all, catch A-L-L, all one word. You can find a tutorial on YouTube that lets you loop them as many times as you want. You remember when Jake showed us that back in the day, Garrett? With the Dick's Sporting Goods, that was such a game changer because we used to be grinding that stuff. That same listing, we used to rip off DSG all the time. I sourced profitable on 3 different websites today. So guys watching this. So Garrett and I used to buy this one item from Dick's Sporting Goods back in the day. Low key, I actually still have some in stock for that, like, inventory I've replenished, and it's still profitable 31 months later. Right there, still running, still wealth, still profitable. The second one. Right.
Yeah.
There. I mean, the hats were lit, but the hats weren't from there. The hats were from Champs. Right there. What % of your ASINs are replens? So I wouldn't really worry about that, but a significantly higher % for us where we've been doing it a lot longer. So like, I don't know, probably 40% of our stuff I've sold before, but like you guys want to be getting in a rhythm on stuff, right? The longer you do it, the better you get at finding stuff, and the better you get at finding stuff, the more stuff you can repurchase just because you're more, woke to finding stuff basically. But what are you guys? Probably, 50% plus as well, right?
Yeah, I would say, sorry, So as far as replens are concerned, I'd say probably about 50 to 60% of our inventory we're buying not for the first time, right? We're replenishing, but at the same time, the nature of our business model is that products become unprofitable pretty frequently. So for every one that we're replenishing, there might be 2 or 3 more that are no longer profitable that we're having to find new products to replace them.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, every purchase is purchased with the expectation that there will be a restock. Whether that happens or not, it's to be determined, right? We operate in an unknown environment with other Amazon sellers, suppliers, buy costs, all those sorts of things, right? So at least for me, every single purchase we purchase with the ideology that we will end up replenishing it. Whether that happens is obviously out of our control.
And over a long enough time scale, everything is a replen. Is it better to buy wholesale from a private label person who's the only seller on Amazon if they're willing to work with you and let you resell on Amazon too? Tony, I just off talking to you, just off knowing you, I wouldn't worry about that at all. Yes, however, they have to stop selling on Amazon. Don't worry about that.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Neither. Go with seller board. Seller board is
for what?
He said go to list or inventory lab, and I said seller board.
For profit analytics, but not for reporting. I mean, if you're talking about listing inventory, which I would assume is probably what he's asking if he's comparing GoToLister versus Inventory Lab. I don't have experience with GoToLister, but we've been using Inventory Lab for quite a while.
Shit, I just messed up my mic.
Do you need an LLC to get exempt in PA, Walmart, and then yeah, I think so, but it depends on what you're looking to do in your business. I would just talk to a CPA or a good website to get invoices for Adidas. Every single website that you named: Adidas for Adidas, Puma for Puma, Nike for Nike. Kohl's will probably work. Foot Locker. I mean, any real website. You just have to make sure your account information matches up, your address matches up, email, all that good stuff.
Yep. Doing FBA. FBM is a new seller for Nike and Adidas. Should I list low, middle, or high? You should list where everyone else is and where the sales are going.
It's a good question. Can I trust keep a SellerM sales estimates, or should I try to judge for myself? I mean, they're good enough, right? They're not, whether it's a 10,000 or whether it's 1,000 versus 1,200 versus 14 versus 800. They're close enough where it should drive at least your test buy, at least your first purchase, right? It doesn't need to be exact, and it never will be, and it doesn't necessarily matter. What it's not going to be is it's not going to sell 2 times as opposed to 2,000, right? It's not going to be that far off. It's good enough to make an assumption. It's good enough to make a first purchase. But ultimately, what you're really going for is to be able to leverage your own business data, to be able to buy a month's worth of time, a stock, and use your own business data to make further purchases, right? That's the goal, because your own business data is going to trump anything that SellerM Bookkeeper tells you to do, right? How many are you selling per day? Extrapolate that over 30, 45 days, and that's your reorder. That's what's most important. The data is just really telling you, and from a test buy perspective, for buying 15 days, 30 days out, whether you should be buying 100 or 10, and you just want to get close enough.
So Miles, this is a question, or Garrett, you probably know the answer to this too. I don't have as much FBM experience, but Gabriel asks, is there a way to add different FBM shipping costs, as sometimes the rates are different for different orders? And he said on Seller Board, but it's my understanding that you would update the shipping costs in Seller Central in your shipping template, and then Seller Board would import whatever that cost is. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah. So if it ever seems abnormally high, which it occasionally will, you name it occasionally. Right there. Oh, nice. I didn't even realize my prep center pumped out this inventory. That's clutch. Oh, I'm about to get rich on this one SKU. Wait. Yeah. So if FBM shipping ever seems abnormally high, just buy shipping via Pirate Ship and you'll be good to go, and then manually add it over to Seller Central. Oh, I'm super about to get rich. Yeah. This is like a 70% ROI. Ooh.
Where do we get FNSKU labels for? Honestly, don't overthink it. Everything that you need for Amazon, get from Amazon.
Well, I think he means like, where do you access them? Not like, where do you get the physical labels? Yeah, you literally just print them out from your Seller Central account. Super easy.
Oh, but like poly bags, labels, Amazon's like cheap enough.
I mean, UPS will give you free FNSKU labels if you use a thermal printer, and free shipping labels if you use a thermal printer.
Not
really?
FNSKU, really?
Is it just the shipping?
I think it's just the 4x6.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it was FNSKU size as well.
Brother, Weird Kids TV, just submit the emails, man. I know they're declining you a couple times. It's probably gonna happen a couple times more, but you'll be good to go. Just keep resubmitting.
We're in the process of let's see, this morning I resubmitted the same invoice. I think today was the 4th time in a row. It's denied. Okay. And we're gonna have to resubmit it.
It's not gonna end.
I know. We just keep resubmitting.
You're always gonna face the annoyance. Authenticity is the same thing. You know your product's legit. You may have to submit those invoices a few times. They probably will decline you a bunch, but they will come through.
Dia, do your name even if you have an LC. This is a good tweet, Corey. We're on our get the tweet hunter loaded up.
I'm new for OA. If I do LC.
No, I'm ghostwriting in progress. We're on our 4th submission for an ungating attempt. Many sellers would quit, whine, or look for another product to sell. Not us, though. This is why we win.
Yeah, I think that's right now, not even a schedule.
Yep. Oh, well, hold up. You don't schedule it, but you still put it through Tweet Hunter, so it auto retweets it 3 times.
Yeah.
All right.
Always through Tweet Hunter. They don't have an app, do they?
Sometimes you make me nervous.
I wish they
understandably.
had that.
I know. I use just the mobile. I just go use it on Safari, like on my
There's
phone.
so many times where I want to schedule something while I'm driving or something, while I'm out and about, and I'm like, now I got to make a note. It's not worth tweeting without the retweet. It's not worth tweeting without the retweet or the auto DM.
The only bad thing about Tweet Hunter is that it won't do long form tweets. You can't do anything past that. You can do threads, but
I like long form tweets.
Sometimes I see you experimenting with them recently. Sometimes they can do really well.
Yep, one a day. Absolutely. Best brand or category to get ungated in right now. Dude, if you got like a Nike outlet nearby, I would do that online. If you have a Nike outlet, you probably have an Adidas outlet nearby too. So I would do Nike and Adidas and hit up the outlets and scan everything you can with selling it. Right there. Ooh, damn, some sauce going in the chat about FBM shipping. Yeah, if you just refresh it, sometimes the rates will change. Absolutely. Then I haven't heard of that one, dropping the weight and then bringing it back up and the correct shipping price will appear. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to test too, Mark. Appreciate it. That's good sauce right there. I have a Gucci out. Bro, people sell Gucci on Amazon. It sounds like a nightmare with returns and the customer base buying it, but you definitely can. I've seen people selling like Saint Laurent too. When I'm storefronts talking about, it's like perfume. Okay, neat. Corey, what are your thoughts on this? Do you recommend making a fake website for suppliers to look at? Bro, they're not check. No. These people do not know how to check the traffic on the site. If you know how to check the traffic on the site, you can make a shitload of money online. There's people that know way less about technical stuff than you do that are printing generational wealth online.
Yeah. So I just think that the way you ask that question is not a good way to ask it. So as far as like making a fake website, no, definitely not. I mean, any website that you have, any website that you're saying that you do business under, you should be legitimately doing business under. Now, if that's a storefront website that you're hosting on Shopify, at the very least, make sure that the products that you post on your website, if somebody were to make a purchase from your website, which they won't because they won't be able to find you because you're not doing any SEO. But if somebody were to make a purchase from your website, you should be able to fulfill that order. If that means that you have to drop ship that product from Amazon and pay $10 more than your customer paid you, then so be it, because you're not going to be making any sales. Bottom line is it needs to be a legitimate sales channel if you're going to position it as such. Our Shopify site, we make multiple sales per week on it. Our informational site, everything said on our informational site is true and we can back up. So you never want to be misleading your suppliers. And if you have a storefront site, you want to be, like I said, be sure that you can make sales off.
Do you actually make sales from your Shopify?
Yes, I have no idea how.
I remember
literally, and now it's like two. For a while, it was like one every 10 days and it was one a week. And now it's like 2 sales a week. And I'm like, dude, we don't do any SEO. Like we paid a dude on Fiverr $134. I checked last week. $134 to make this website, and we're getting like 2 organic sales per week. I have no idea how.
And so what do you fulfill from Amazon?
Well, we've just been canceling them, like, because we'll either just cancel the order because I just don't want to deal with it, or we'll drop ship it from, like, all the products on our website, our biggest supplier carries. We could easily drop ship from our website to our customer. But I mean, usually it's just like we need to go back in and price stuff higher. It's not priced high enough.
Yeah, well, price it at the moon. Yeah, like
yeah.
Where can you find your storefront URL? If you go to any listing you're on and click your storefront name, then you'll see your storefront URL right there. Are you allowed to sell
outlets?
Private label? Yeah, that's the energy I need in my life. Yeah, are you allowed to sell private label products doing wholesale? Well, you're allowed to sell anything doing anything. It's just like the type of product. I think you got to do a little bit more research.
But if you're serious about doing both private label and wholesale, I would keep them completely separate. It's going to be next to impossible to exit a private label brand that you have intertwined with your wholesale business than one that has a standalone entity, standalone financial, standalone P&L, bank account, everything.
Yep. If you do multiple orders from website, because they won't let you do more than 10 items, just don't change anything and see what happens to start. If they cancel it, then get fancy and like switch up the email, switch up the payment info, etc. You guys are amazing, consistent, and that's awesome. Appreciate it, family. Let us know where we can help. Guys, we're about 45 minutes in, so we'll go for another 10 minutes or so. So keep the questions coming. We love to help. And that's that. Label is not in English. Instead of 12-pack, and find 2 6-packs, but the product definitely matches. I wouldn't if the label is different and in a different language, because then the customer that's buying it in the US just statistically probably speaks English right there. And it's going to be like they're going to think it's stuff. So I wouldn't do that. But in general, if it's all the ingredients, label, language, etc. checks out, I'd feel perfectly comfortable selling a 6-pack as 2 3-packs and such, and 2 3-packs as a 6-pack and such as well. Right there, Garrett. When do you think you'll come to Miami?
I don't know.
Okay, because I'm thinking next Monday, and Dan's in for next Monday too.
Yeah, I was talking to Billy about it a couple of days ago. I think maybe Thursday.
Or you might as well come too.
For what? What are y'all doing?
Well, yeah, no, you're more than welcome to. Do you guys do anything about emails you get in 4 languages? Oh, no, definitely not. Still working? Yeah, of course, Tyler, definitely. It just not necessarily that it's harder. It just takes more submission, or it's just taking longer to hear back. So it feels like more submission. But like, guys, you only have to get it once. You only have to get it once per brand and category. Anyone
in the chat right now, who should we have on the Buy Box Bandit podcast? Who do you want to hear from? Let us know in the comments.
We never did the ASD recap, so we actually.
I know. I was bummed about that.
I know.
You wanted to. It would have been perfect timing. It would have done because we were all there. Like there were a bunch of good takeaways. It's fine. Too.
Well, I think me, you, Sawyer, we should just do that tomorrow.
I was gonna say we should have had Sawyer on that too for sure.
Oh, Brett, I'm already going down. Danny and I are going to that game. That's already locked in.
What's that?
the Giants game at in Miami.
When is it?
What? Oh, when? He put
He
it
said
there.
10-8.
Yeah, it's in the comment.
Oh no.
He put it there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so we got to send it back quick then from PA that night because that's Danny and I are both going to be in PA for that Saturday.
Why? Oh, is that what's that Saturday?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, got it.
So you're more than welcome to come to that, obviously. Can you explain how small night works and what qualifies? So what's nice is you actually don't need to activate anything anymore. It's just anything under $10. So you don't really have to worry about that. Oh, what up, Joey? Joey in the building. What up? Sometimes I can't tell if I found a hidden gem or it's a scam. Yeah, so this is a really, really good how to tell if a website's legit, which is actually what I'm writing my long form Twitter post on tomorrow.
From an away perspective, Trustpilot really will probably give you all the information you need. Just enter in like the URL into Trustpilot. From an OA perspective, it'll give you the reviews, it'll give you validation, and so that should be pretty straightforward. You want to hit on the wholesale piece, Corey?
How to verify if a supplier is legit.
Mm-hmm.
So really the only foolproof way is to place a test order. Make sure that it goes smoothly. Other things you can do is if they're registered with a Better Business Bureau, that's a big one. Do things like look up their address on Google Earth. Is it an actual warehouse address? Is it some field in the middle of nowhere, right? These things can tell you a lot. And typically, I mean, as long as their website's professional and you can talk to someone on the phone that sounds like they know what they're talking about, 99 times out of 100, you're fine. But like I said, if you're really hesitant, just place that small first opening test order, make sure things go smoothly. And if it does, then you're good to go.
You could also ask, just like you would do with a prep center, you could also ask for pictures of their warehouse, right? You'd obviously expect to see pictures of the products that you see in their catalog.
I've asked for pictures of merchandise before. That's common practice.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said, I was like, send me a picture of the case packs in your warehouse. They did perfectly fine.
And this one probably should be obvious, but they should be emailing you from a professional domain that matches their business, right?
Not a Telegram like DM, if that's even
a Telegram. It shouldn't be a Gmail, right? It should be sales at the company or so-and-so's name at the company, something like that.
And Patrick, one more thing I'll add to that is, so like you said, sometimes you feel like you found a hidden gem. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, the best suppliers are these smaller mom and pop suppliers. Not all the time, right? But they can be. And because chances are they have connections with these manufacturers or with these other bigger suppliers that go back for decades, right? They've been in business for so long. They just don't know how to market themselves either on the internet, on social media. So the only way to find them is by just chance encounters at trade shows or by running into them in your town's warehouse district, right? Things like this. So sometimes when you think you found a hidden gem, as long as you can verify they're authentic, that they're legitimate, then that could be a really good opportunity.
Boom. Twitter post today, Garrett. That's love. Best box suppliers. Yeah. Walmart, Home Depot, Uline, maybe even a local box supplier.
Thanks, Pickle Rick. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. The Honest FBA guys are cool. I feel like my shipping templates isn't the best. Do you guys have any insights on that? Yeah. So for, if you guys, especially for FBM, this is important, guys, you want to be charging a lot for expedited shipping. It's like $20 plus $1 per pound, $15 plus $1 per pound, etc. The way you set that up is you go to the top right, hit shipping settings, and then hit shipping templates. And then you want to do free shipping for like the normal shipping, free, etc. Just bake that in the cost with FBM. And then for expedited 2-day, next day, you want to do very expensive. Everyone go update that now if you haven't. Otherwise, you're going to end up losing some money by accident. Someone's going to buy big expedited shipping. You're going to be expected to get it to them on time, and you're going to have charged nothing, and you're going to be out of pocket $20 for that item. Unless you want to do it via pirate ship and have the item get there late, which is fine occasionally.
Yeah, you'll be especially around the holidays. You'll be shocked at how much people will spend to get a product there on time. Especially like some of the more like nuanced niche items that you may or may not sell. Maybe like a size 14 shoe or a specific holiday seasonal item. They're going to pay an arm and a leg to get there on time because if consumers have shown us one thing is that we like to procrastinate and we like to spend money on pointless things, right? So take advantage.
I have a ship it sitting at center for more than a month anyway to get it started again. You'll have to wait till it closes to actually look into it. Unfortunately, that's one of the downsides. You should hear any hour now, Carmen. 45 days is a while. How do I avoid getting underpriced by high competition SKUs? Sell products with less competition or pay less than your competitors. Get really good at finding discounts and understand why products are getting saturated. It's because they're very, very easy to find.
And also on when you say high competition SKUs, I assume they mean high volume. On products like that, people are willing to take really low margins. So you've got to understand that some of your competitors, especially if they're these big mega sellers, they're okay with a 4, 5, 7% margin, whereas you might not be. So you got to keep that into consideration. Couple that with the fact that they're probably getting a better price than you because they're buying in such large quantities. And it can be really hard to compete on some of these super high volume listings.
Yeah, so for next day, 2-day, and expedited, which some of those are the same thing, do $20 plus $1 per pound. Best way to pay less shipping for FBM. Have your templates down in you were worried about ungating though, man. So you're not gonna don't worry about that for now. But below 1 pound USPS, above 1 pound UPS for the most part.
Miles stays keeping receipts, bro. It always boggles my mind.
Actually,
Yes.
That's my mom is the only person I know who does that.
What?
Like you keep receipts, like you remember who says what.
Yeah, well, I thought
you meant like literally keep like physical receipts.
Oh, Corey, what are you doing, bro?
Well, that's why I said I'm like my mom's the only person I know that does that.
Yikes! Corey.
I was like, who does that?
No, but Miles will remember people making comments. It always has.
I've noticed that. I've noticed that.
I have really, really good sense of direction too, like elite top 1% sense of direction. Which account doesn't qualify. Just it'll let you apply for ungating. Are you allowed to sell a product that the brand is selling on their Amazon listing? It depends on the listing. It depends if other people are on that listing. That's how you'll decide. Okay, the pricing one more time. $20 plus $1 per pound. Next day, expedited, 2-day shipping. Everything else free.
Ooh, TJ. Oh, that's a good one. TJ Maxx or Marshalls? I would vote Marshalls. I think TJ Maxx doesn't have boxes sometimes, but I would vote Marshalls.
Do I have a printer for FBM? You gotta have a printer for anything you're doing with this stuff. Yeah. The box.
If you're going to be doing a lot of FBM, you definitely want a thermal printer as well.
Yeah, and everyone in here, if you guys care enough to be in a stream on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, you guys, we're locking in. No one's left behind. Everyone is getting rich this December.
Yeah, Ked, that's a great point. So that's who we used to use for wholesale shipping supplies, theboxery.com, and you want to apply for a wholesale account with them. Anybody can get one pretty much.
Boom, cool. Okay, so I assume they got tiered pricing too?
Well, really, it's slightly better pricing than Uline. That's all it is.
Even better. Cool. Sweet. Okay, guys. So if anyone wants the step-by-step on how to do this stuff, I would encourage you to check out the free document in the description. It goes over exactly how to do all this stuff, terms to know, how to find products, breaking down winning products, etc. Would highly recommend checking that stuff out right there. It's very, very important. I'll put the link as well because a lot of you guys, are still looking for that. Check that out. Definitely recommend it. As well as, fellas, as we finish up here, where can the people find you on all the social medias?
YouTube is right here. Amazon on Twitter and Instagram. That's it.
Yeah, I'm CoreyGanim on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, and then Ganim Corey on Twitter.
No AI profile pic though. We have the
not anymore.
We have the startup founder. The start. He calls his business
startup founder.
Doesn't make money. He calls himself the founder because someone else owns 70% of it, just to help pay his rent. Right there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
No, keep receipts. Keep receipts. When you ungate, do you provide the brand's email? Nah, don't worry about it. You should put your own email. Is it a good choice to do wholesale with little capital, just sell on Amazon the past month? No, do arbitrage. It'll be way easier. It'll be way more worth your time to do arbitrage rather than wholesale if you're low on capital. Right there. Cool. All right. So, guys, we will be back next Monday, 5 p.m. I'll be streaming as well throughout the week. So make sure you check out these guys on social media. Really, really solid sesh. Hopefully Warner will be back next week. And I appreciate you guys in the chat too, showing love right there. Yeah, all the way now through the end of the year, we're completely locked in. Want as many of you guys as possible, hitting that first 10K profit month and such. So yeah, it's good stuff. Anyone got any words for the people? Cool. All right. See you later, everyone.